All right, guys, let's do this. What up? It's JoJo on the radio. This is the iHeartRadio Countdown. Special show today. Live studio audience from Mark Ambor. Give it up for Mark, you guys.
Thank you.
Mark, super great to meet you. How are you doing?
I'm great. I got into LA a few days ago, and I'm enjoying the weather, and yeah.
Safe to say, last, year plus, this has been a life-changing, just the craziest year, musically speaking, of your life.
Yeah, it's been quite an experience. It's been about 10 months since I put out a song called Good to Be that really started to get traction, and we built a tour around that, and then Belong Together came out, and it's kind of just it's gone up.
Just a whirlwind, right?
Yeah, it's been really, really special.
You didn't have confidence to do what you're doing now until a friend, like you kind of told him in secret about what you had planned or what your thoughts were, and he gave you the confidence, or she gave you the confidence to kind of do this. Is that a true story, and what is the backstory on that?
Kind of, more or less. I grew up playing piano, and I never sang for anyone because it always felt very weird, vulnerable for me to sing in front of people. And there was kind of one moment. It was the summer going into college. I was set to go to a school in Connecticut called Fairfield University, not for music. And I was home alone, and I love home, and I didn't want to leave, and I didn't want to start this whole new world at college. And I felt very lost, and me and my girlfriend broke up at the time, and I kind of just decided for whatever reason to try to write a song. So I sat at the piano, and no one was home, and I wrote a song and put on voice memos. And a few hours later, I'd work. And I was feeling really confident about the song I'd written. So I sent it in a group chat to my parents, who were much older and back then were really bad at technology. And a few hours later, my mom responded like, hey, I sent it. I said, hey, what do you guys think of this? And a few hours later, my mom responded, who's this artist? Dad and I love this song. And I was like, Mom, it's me. And then she's like, what? And then she showed my siblings, and they were supportive. And that kind of was the catalyst that started everything.
What would you have done if your mom said, God, this is awful? What is this, you know?
Would definitely not be here, I don't think.
Isn't it wild to think that you went to college to do something completely different? Yeah, thank God your mom said that, right?
Yeah.
You went to college to do something completely different, and now this is your job, so to speak. That's just wild how life is, you know?
Yeah, it's really crazy. But the passion really grew on the side of school. So it was something by senior year when it came to an end, I went home and I was like, told my parents I need to try music full on for at least 6 months or I'll regret it for the rest of my life. And COVID happened and everyone was home and I was like, all right, I guess I'll start posting online.
Let's become a rock star. Why not? Sure. First of all, the title, Mark, what's the backstory on Rockwood?
Yeah, so I was just mentioning how important home is to me. And Rockwood is a state park from where I'm from, Westchester County, New York. It's about 40 minutes north of New York City. And it's a state park on the Hudson River, and it's a place where everyone in my hometown, Pleasantville, and the surrounding towns would go to growing up to watch the sunset, to maybe go, drink or, do whatever. It was a place to just kind of escape. And when you didn't have a friend's house to go to, you'd go to Rockwood. And I think I want this album to be an escape where, you could feel good with some songs, you feel heard, and you feel part of something bigger. And Rockwood was always that for me, is this escape. And the album touches on a lot of parts about me growing up and where I grew up and what's important to me, and I feel like it just made sense.
I assume when the album comes out, I can picture like the debut release at Rockwood. Yeah, it kind of has to happen, right?
Yeah, we've been talking about that, but we haven't locked any plans in yet.
All right, just throwing that out there, Hey, as far as the songs on the album, I'm not sure if you can release track lists or whatever. Maybe I don't know, but is there? I always ask this, and it's crazy to think, but what song almost did not make the album? And the reason I ask that is a lot of times that's the one that for some reason becomes massive.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, so there's a song called Someone That's Better that kind of got lost. I wrote half of it, and I think I sent it to my manager and stuff that night, and at first he was like, I don't really like this, and then I got discouraged and I forgot about it. But he found it a few months later, and he's like, wait, this one's actually good. And then I finished writing it, and we ended up putting it on. So I don't know, maybe that one.
You guys watch. I don't know why it is, but I've talked to quite a few artists, and more times than not, that song that they had to convince them to put it on or didn't quite, it doesn't fit the album, whatever the reason is, it becomes like a fan favorite. So we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
What's the story? I know that when the song came out, it clearly went viral on TikTok. And once again, talked to a lot of artists about this. I've heard stories where you release a song, you kind of go to sleep, take a nap, do something, and then basically you wake up and you're kind of famous. Did you have one of those kind of like, what the heck happened on TikTok moments?
It didn't, no, that didn't really happen, to be honest. It was kind of, like I said, a song called Good to Be came out, and that kind of, people, it resonated with people online, and people started kind of, viewing that sound a lot. And I released Belong Together when it wasn't going viral or anything. I put it out because I believed in it, and I was proud of it. I really liked it. And then the week it was set to come out, people just started using the sound, and it was a very slow process. But yeah, that's kind of how it all started, and it wasn't like I fell asleep and I woke up and it had like 5 million views. It was actually
all right, Mark Evers.
slow.
Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe it's better to happen like this, more organic, as opposed to the holy crap, what happened to my life type thing.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
I mean, I actually still feel like, holy crap, what happened in my life? But
it is pretty wild, right? Mark, you mentioned earlier you sent the song to your parents, and they said, God, who is this? And you're like, oh, it's me. That kind of jump-started your career. Was it hard initially to convince the parents, because you went to college, and the parents always love their kids to go to college. They go to college. That's what you do. I'm assuming you said, look, I'm changing careers. We had, maybe you sat at the table up in Connecticut. We had the talk. Mom, the plan I had, changing everything. What was their initial reaction to that?
they honestly, when I first told them I just want to spend 6 months trying music, they were really supportive, which I was surprised of. They were like, all right, 6 months, go do it. And I did it. And there was a period, though, leading up to that where I was expressing that I was thinking about it, and they were kind of, like, that sounds like a good hobby kind of situation. But yeah, once I said I was doing it, they were cool with it, and they started seeing, people and the accounts I had, people resonating with me, and the accounts I had, like, kind of growing, and I think that kind of made them feel like better for whatever reason. But yeah, that helped, and then they're very proud now. But hindsight's 20/20.
I guess when people visit your mom or dad, they're it's like you're all they talk about at this point. Like, what my son's doing? Have you heard a song on the radio?
Yeah, actually, that's exactly what my dad does.
There you go. Good for him. Mark, are you ready for this tour coming up next year?
I can't wait. Yes, it's one of my favorite parts about this whole thing, going on tour.
We won't say what happened behind the scenes a moment ago. I got something totally wrong. We'll pretend like it didn't happen, Mark, right? Hey, but tour coming up, Feb, well, can I say this? Or is
yeah, you can say.
Feb 2025, don't shoot me, new tour coming out. Yes or no?
Yes. Well, the dates, yes. We're announcing it in a couple weeks. I mean, it starts this fall, to be honest, but it continues.
I'm wrong about everything, aren't I?
No, it's not good.
You are going on tour, though.
We're going on tour for the album, yes.
Like live and people in front of you and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy a road life? Because I've talked to some people that, you love being on stage, but there's a lot of stuff that goes with it. Do you like the hotel and the this and the structured life?
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky I have a crew that's amazing, that we're all pretty much really close friends. Not pretty much. We're all close friends.
He's looking at you like, wait, what?
No, and yeah, it makes it fun. And also we do kind of things outside of the actual shows, like pop-up shows we do a lot in like cities before the show, and that's been really fun because we just get a bunch of people to come, raid a street spontaneously and sing Belong Together in the streets of wherever we are, and it's been that's one of my favorite parts actually of going on tour. I've
talked to some artists that for some reason I guess the thing is to stop at like late night Walmart or some of the truck stops. I forget some of the truck stops. Yeah. Is that a thing?
I mean, definitely like truck stops and late night gas station stops. Yeah.
I need to go on tour.
You want to come?
I want to come. I want to do like a date or two just to see what it's like.
Yeah, come.
Have you had your? I'm assuming you've already had this moment, but have you had your holy crap, I think I might be famous moment yet?
I don't really think about it like that, to be honest. I kind of there's been moments on tour when I'll like look out or I'll hear the crowd singing the songs back. It's cliche, everyone says this, but it's so true. Like I made it alone in my room, and to be in, LA, which is far from New York, or even, Germany, and people are screaming the lyrics of Belong Together with me. It's just, that part always kind of gets me.
That's got to be wild in, like you said, Germany, where that's not the native language.
Exactly. That gets interesting.
So surreal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really crazy. Even like when I just say like I'm doing this event and then all the beautiful people show up, it's really, that is part of how surreal it is to me.
All right, Mark, this song, Belong Together. Give me a little backstory before you play this thing live on about 100 radio stations.
Yes.
No pressure.
Belong Together is a song I wrote in my bedroom alone. And it's a song that is about escaping the more negative things in your life and surrounding yourself with people that you love and things that you love to kind of escape that. And in its simplest form, that's what Belong Together is about.
And who's this guitar player, this sexy guitar player next to you?
This sexy guitar player is my very close friend and music director and bandmate, Alex Madden.
Two-part question.
Yes.
What do you consider your best live performance ever? I mean, everything was just about perfect. Then the complete flip of that, what do you consider your worst? Everything went straight to hell. It happens to everyone.
Oh.
Let me hear it.
Okay.
Oh.
So there was one. So I'll start with the best. That's weird actually. I'll start with the worst. So we were in the Netherlands, and it was April. It was in the middle of our Europe leg of the tour, and we got this opportunity to play at this radio festival there. It was like a lot of people. It was like 40,000 people. And that's more people than I've ever seen in one spot in my life. And I went out there, and there was like kind of the stage was a big stage, but it had this part that jutted out. And I was like, oh, I want to go on the end of that, and the band will stay here. So I went out on the end of that. But the thing is, like, in the way the sound works, basically, there's a delay when you're playing and singing compared to like when the delay of the speakers in your vocal, there's a huge delay. So I'm sitting there singing Good to Be, and I completely like get stuck in the delay where it was a big mess, but I got out alive, and so that was kind of a horrible thing where I was very angry at myself after. But
Oops.
Yeah, the best was, to be honest, it was Vienna, Austria, I think, where we went there with no expectation, and the fans just wouldn't leave. The show ended, they were just sitting in the like by the stage just chanting, like, and they weren't leaving. So then we had to go outside, and I climbed on the van, and then I was doing an after set, and they were surrounding the van. It was really cool. It was like on this waterway in Vienna. That was a really cool moment.
What a rush. People love you so much they wouldn't leave.
They wouldn't leave.
Like I walk out, people are gone before I leave, you know. And by the way, I guess that screw up you had sounds pretty bad, but I've talked to some people. One guy fell off the stage, I won't say who, and the mic went into his throat.
Oh, man.
Like, can you imagine, like, oh, and then you have to, I said, what'd you do? And he's like, I just pulled the mic out and kept singing. I was told your favorite band, Coldplay, right?
Yeah.
Have you, amazing. Have you met them? Have you met them yet?
No, I have not.
Have you, let's put it out in the universe then. I think at some point, I mean, your life is crazy, so crazy things are very believable. Let's put this out in the universe. Would you like to collab with the guys at some point, or is that just too nutty to even?
That'd be crazy. I mean, I'd love that. That'd be awesome.
Do you guys believe in manifestation? So what we're doing right now, this is manifesting.
Okay.
Mark Ambor featuring Coldplay, or vice versa.
Okay.
We're just throwing it into the universe on all these radio stations. Coldplay, if you hear us.
Wherever you are.
Wherever you are in your fancy mansion up there or whatever. Let's get it. Mark, you don't know this about me. We just met, but this has nothing to do with music, by the way.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with the paranormal. Ghost, haunted houses, all that stuff. I've got a podcast called Paranormalish. I mean, I'm off the deep end. I swear I'm not crazy. Have you ever had something you would consider a paranormal encounter?
Whoa.
If you don't, that's okay. But
there's been things like where I think this is made up, but there are things where, like, I remember when my grandfather passed away, there was like, I was in my basement, and there was like a little mouse that came out of nowhere. I know, it's disgusting, sorry. But there's a mouse that came out of nowhere, and it was like chasing me, and I was like, maybe that's him. Or like someone, I don't know, I feel like whenever someone passes away, and like I'm sitting in my bed, and I hear something in 3 rooms away, I'm like, that was them. So
I've heard crazier stories. Well,
I'm sure you have many.
Halsey told me a story. This isn't a direct like sighting, but Halsey, when she was a little kid, she used to recite this number over and over. She didn't tell me the number. Let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
And she would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over and over and over. She would sing it, play with it, whatever, yell it, whatever. And one day her aunt comes over and says to her mom, which is their sisters, her aunt says, "Do you know what number that Halsey's reciting?" And he said, "No, that's our great-grandmother's phone number."
Oh, that's weird.
And she had no way to get this number.
Yeah.
It wasn't posted on like a Post-it, Plus she was like 6.
Yeah.
There's crazier stories, but isn't that fascinating?
That's great. I don't have a story like that.
But okay, my challenge to you though, here's the challenge.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you say no. It's fine.
Yeah.
But you're going to be touring later this year, fall.
Yeah.
I said, I screwed it up early, but you're touring in the fall.
Yeah.
A lot of these hotels you're going to stay in have a history, have a backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Would you consider, and I'll even do some research for you if you want, would you consider requesting the haunted room or room, stay there, and let me know what happens?
I think I'll have him stay in there, and then he'll tell me how it went.
That's even better. All right. First time you heard one of your songs on the radio, do you recall that? And if so, where was it at? What was it like? All that.
It actually just happened when I was driving to the airport to come here, and I was with my dad, and we were just driving, and then it came on the radio, and we were like, "Yeah, it's going together." And then we turned it up, and then we changed the channel. 20 minutes later, it came on again. And we were like, "What?" That was the first time it was ever like passive listening that it happened.
Is that a rush?
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. It was pretty weird.
Early success. What's your family, your friends, your day ones? What's their reaction to all that's going on? And not that a lot of things ahead, sky's the limit, a lot more things to do. I get it, but you've had some really cool success so far.
Yeah.
Their reaction.
It's been really cool. I think their reactions are the strongest when it's like they hear me on the radio or they see me on TV, or it's like that stuff really kind of makes them proud. I mean, my dad's been proud for a few years now. I don't know. It feels really good to make people that are important in my life proud. I mean, so it's been really cool. It's been very fulfilling and rewarding, and yeah, it's been awesome.
Same question to you. What's your reaction?
I genuinely don't think I fully processed it, but it's crazy to me that I made something alone and that it's resonated around the world the way it has, and it can take me and him and our friends kind of to hop around to these countries and sing, and people are, wanting to see us and singing with us. It's really just surreal. There's no words, really. That's
a good way to put it. It's surreal because, you wrote this song in your basement or your bedroom, you said, and complete strangers, when you think about it, know every word you wrote in your bedroom. It's special,
Very.
Message to your fans. What do you want to say to this group of people that love you?
Yes. Well, first of all, I always say I'm so glad that you're here, no matter what, because it means the world to me. But yeah, exciting stuff coming. We have the album coming August 16th. We have a tour coming this fall. It starts for the album. Yeah. And I just can't wait to get back on the road and meet as many people that are supporting me as I can, and do pop-ups in random spots where we create a little memory together. And yeah, it never gets old seeing all of you come and hearing your stories about you listening to the songs and what they mean to you. And yeah, just thanks.
What else do people need to know about Mark Ambor? Mark Ambor?
I would say there are many things to learn, but I guess the first thing is come to a show, and I'll show you the best time of your life.
Oh, dang. Oh, now. Mark, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. At the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official. Give me a little bam, a little bam. Mark Ambor, you guys, yeah.
Thank you.